Welcome back to another devlog for my game Mage Time. Mage Time is a top-down action roguelike game, and it's inspired largely by games like Hades, Slay the Spire, and recently I've been playing Risk of Rain 2 per the advice of some people watching these devlogs and some friends. So it's kind of like a multiplayer, optional multiplayer, top-down action roguelike. And for this devlog, I figured I'd try something a little different and just play the game and see how far I can get. And while I'm playing, talk about some of the new features I've worked on since the last devlog. The main feature, one of the main features, has been just like the user interface. I've basically changed how the UI looks a lot, try to improve it. So in the bottom left here, we have like a spell bar, and you can now reorder the spells by dragging them around, so you can change what hotkey they're bound to. I also added like a loadout screen, and if you press tab, you can see the different like effects that the spell has and how much damage stuff does, and basically you can see your spell progression a lot easier. I guess I'll pick this up. The spells are also slightly more balanced this time. One of the things I did to make the balance better is, instead of having upgrades linearly affect the spell by like some constant stat, they now affect the spell by a percentage. And this is also a new spell that I've recently added called the Death Magic spell. And what it does is, it's super powerful, but when you cast it, you lose 10% of your health. So it's not a spell that you really can use for much of the game without switching between other spells. So I think this adds like potentially some new play styles, which is kind of cool. Let me pick that up. Gotta get off the death spell so I don't lose too much health. I also added equipment to the game. This was Slay the Spire, Risk of Rain inspired for sure. And the equipment goes in your, can be used with your Q button. And this is the campfire. So if I press Q, I get a campfire that I can use, and it will restore some of my health. And other party members can also rest at this campfire and get some health back if I was playing with other people. So I got some good power-ups on my fireball spell. I have the seeking effect, which basically makes it so you don't have to aim as well. It'll just kind of homing missile into the target. And I also have on my power shot right mouse button special for the fireball, I have Omni, which shoots an omnidirectional burst of the spells, which is kind of cool. So this enemy here has a ton of health. I might use the death spell on it and lose some of my health just because I want to kill it faster. I think it was worth it. And you can also kind of plan out where you want to go in the level with this like map. So if I go here, I'm gonna restore some health real quick, get back the health I lost from using the death spell. And my campfire item has also cooled down, which is good. So I can use it again without worrying too much about it. This might be too OP. I don't know. Have to balance stuff still. And these little items on the ground, the orange orbs restore your exhaustion for the currently held spell. So basically it makes the spell be more powered up. But I need to switch off Fireball because it's at 3% strength. Let's see what upgrades we have here. Drain rate, long shot. I'll take long shot. Also heal myself. I'm starting to work on the graphics a little bit. That's something I'm gonna do probably once the gameplay is really polished. I wanna go over all the environment and player stuff and just kind of like take it from this really low poly basic looking stuff to something slightly more detailed like this. But I still want to keep like simple colors and not do textures because just too much work to do textures. So these are like the elite rooms where you get twice the amount of loot, which is pretty cool. So they're definitely a little harder, but worth it if you can do it. I'll pick up the potency, increase the spell's damage, and for this one, pick up cast rate. And up here is the first boss in the game. Hopefully I can beat it. The boss isn't that hard, and you can definitely cheese the boss just by like standing really far back and shooting it. So I'll try not to die. Fireball spell though loses its power pretty quickly. It has a pretty high drain rate, so I'm gonna switch back to the basic attack, and I'm almost dead. If I take one hit, I'm dead. Alright, that was close. I might get rid of the fireball for the ice, just to try it. So I added a new effect in the game. I finally added like slow movement effect to the ice spell, which is pretty good. Right now it's definitely a little OP, but basically I'll show it in this fight here. When you cast it on something, this dragon is pretty hard. The enemies turn blue and they move a lot slower, and their spells that they shoot are slower, and their attacks are slower. The only thing that isn't slower yet is their animations. I haven't programmed slowing down the animations yet based on how cold they are. This dragon dude's kind of annoying. That was close. And I can't really use this death spell because if I do, I'll basically die. Because it'll take away my health. And none of my other spells are that good right now. Which is unfortunate. Definitely don't have a good build. I don't think this run. And I'm dead. Let's try that again. Hopefully I get some different spells this time too. The AoE spells are pretty good, but I personally find them pretty boring because you just spam them on the ground. You don't really have to like aim that much. And this AoE spell has the vulnerable effect, which makes enemies take more damage. Got the fireball shotgun upgrade, which is pretty good. I think Black Hole is technically better than the other blue AoE spell. Because it has Weaken and Vulnerable currently. Picked up running shoes, which is like a passive upgrade that increases movement speed by 25%. In this last update, I've added a bunch of items to the game to make it a little more interesting, so there's more combinations of different upgrades and items. Nice. I just got an equipment drop. So this is something I definitely took from Risk of Rain, but now there's like single-use items that actually they're not single-use. You can reuse them after they cool down. But for example, this is the Battle Totem, which increases your cast speed by like 200% while you're standing in it. So. It's good and bad. It's good because you attack a lot faster. It's bad because you have to stay inside this or you will lose the effect. And you can take a lot of hits if you're close to enemies. I don't think I want any of these. I'm not going to try Death Magic again. That didn't work out for me last time. just zoomed out the camera a bit just to see a little bit easier. You can only equip one equipment at a time, so I'm gonna use this to get the campfire, and then I might pick the battle totem up again. Alright, here's the first boss again. Let's see how this spell build fares against it. Just gonna spam this AoE, try to weaken and lower its defenses as much as possible. And then I'll use Fireball. That was a much easier fight. My kind of priority list for stuff to work on for future updates is mostly improve the combat and the UI for upgrades and make the game a lot more balanced. I want to take a pass on all like the combat animations and make the hitboxes and like the visual indicators of attacks better. And I also want to take a pass on the graphics, make it look good. And then I'm thinking about maybe converting to like an early access version of the game and then starting on like a meta game for it, which is kind of like a town or like a school, wizard school that persists some stuff outside of the roguelike elements. So I'm making like maybe there's like different spells that'll appear more like quests that you complete, and put like some like encounters with other kind of like NPC characters or wizards, and make each run have a little more variability and like story to it. But I don't want to even think about that until the actual core game is fun and good. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna cheat right now, and I'm gonna spawn the Glass Soul upgrade, and what this does is it increases your damage that you give, but also increases the damage you receive. But it's kind of makes the game a lot faster, but you also die a lot faster. So but it definitely makes for a different pace of game. I think could be good. I'm recording this while waiting for Elden Ring to download, which I'm sure a lot of people are playing right now. I'm excited for that. That's another item pretty much inspired by Risk of Rain / copied, but basically increases damage done to enemies that are within a short radius. So kind of rewards high risk gameplay. Okay, something's definitely broken with the fireball spell. It should be shooting a lot more fireballs than just 3. There's also a cat helper in the game now. So this is like a item that lets you summon a cat to help you out. I definitely need to improve like their AI. Right now they just basically follow you around with a simple follow behavior, and they'll attack enemies that are like really close to them. I feel like this level is pretty boring because it's a lot of the same. But that level is a good opportunity to farm and get a lot of upgrades if you need to for this boss, for the second boss in the game. And I don't think he's like well balanced, but he's at least got some cool effects. So he lowers your health by a lot, and basically like takes some of your health and puts it in this like shadow copy, which I just killed. And that was inspired by like Kingdom Hearts, the Sephiroth fight with the Sin Harvest special effect, for anyone who played that game back in the day. He also has like some different attacks that add a little variety to the fight, but it's still a pretty easy fight, I think, especially since I cheated and I gave myself the glass soul upgrade. I just picked up the health seeds item, which just heals you a little bit. So yeah, thanks for watching. I definitely, I think, made a bunch of improvements. So if you want to check it out and play it, please go over to Steam and download the free playtest. And I'm going to be listening to all the feedback I get and trying to continue to polish up the combat, the UI, the upgrades, and like the loot system, and add more enemy variety, better boss fights, and hopefully eventually better graphics and maybe a story. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching me play through this and share some of the stuff I'm working on.